So WordPress theme is the main reason why WordPress has been so popular. It's plug and play functionality that it can work around with any kind of theme and any kind of plugin. That is what makes WordPress so robust and so widely used across the world. So whatever you have learned so far, all those basic concepts will be applied when you are developing a theme. And theme development is not a small course that I can cover up in one day, but this will help you in getting started with the basics. If you already know, if you are already familiar with normal website development, which you used to do using HTML, CSS, and a little bit of Bootstrap, you are good to go and you can develop your own themes in WordPress. It won't be that much dynamic in the starting. You can develop static websites like your own portfolio. You can have your landing page as your own static page, and your blog to be multifunctional with WordPress theme features. So we'll learn about that thing today. So basically what we are going to do in today's course is we are going to learn why we use WordPress themes, what is main style sheets and what are the different style sheet components. Also we'll learn about function file, which you have already known during the previous lectures, and it helps in adding functionalities. Also we'll learn about what are template files. Then we'll also see what is child theme, and then how you can go further with the theme development. So first of all, why WordPress theme? So, like everybody has a chance to have their website to show off their own creativity and show off their own skills. So you would want everybody to have a same kind of website. And I have never seen a website, two different websites that look exactly the same. And that's the beauty of it. But at the same time, everybody is not a pro creative person. Everybody doesn't has those much skill that they can develop creative design by themselves. So that is why we rely on WordPress theme. WordPress themes add a unique look to your website while maintaining the consistency of the whole CMS system. And you can take advantages of different templating. You can apply different styles and different themes to your content inside your WordPress content. It allows you to quickly see the changes instead of firstly planning and going through all the web development process. Themes are having predefined structure in it. They have a predefined content inside them, which helps you to visualize how your final product will look like. And also, it utilizes the same basic things, which are CSS and HTML, and more on PHP to have dynamic component inside your theme. So you don't need to learn many new things in order to develop WordPress themes. If you already know a little bit of HTML, CSS, and PHP, you are good to go. Uh, if you know JavaScript, that's a good add-on. You can add more dynamic components. WordPress extensively uses jQuery for its hidden features and for its theme features also. So it's a good add-on to learn jQuery also to develop dynamic content on your website. So let's see one by one what are the different file structures that goes inside making a theme. The first one is the most important, that is style.css. So as its name suggests, it's like any other style.css file. It gives the main styling to your theme. There can exist multiple style.css inside single WordPress installation, but this one is inside the themes folder. When Siddharth is going to give you the practical demo, he'll show you how it is stored inside the theme folder, and this is the main file that is required for the theme to act and stylize itself. So this is a must required thing that you have to provide. You can import other third party and import other style external CSS, but this one is something that you always need. So also style.css also contains some kind of themes info inside them, which is used when you are publishing the theme, how people will get to know about your theme. Those information is also published inside style.css in form of a comment. And no two themes should have the same themes info, because then it will cause a conflict, and when the person is installing the theme, he would be confused that which theme is which. So you have to give a unique information to the theme, including the name of theme, who is the author, what is the website of the author, all things like that. And we'll see how you can actually create your own style.css with these templates very easily. Also, it follows the standard coding standards of CSS, and you don't need to know much anything else. It's just you are whatever different components you will make inside your themes. You just need to declare those classes inside your style.css, and you're good to go. So as soon as the person switches between a theme which is existing inside the same website, WordPress chooses to favor another style CSS over another, and this helps in changing the styles quickly. So even if the component names are same and you switch the theme, the style.css is going to apply another themes and styling to the same component in a different manner. So that is the most powerful thing about WordPress. You don't need to do a lot of web development in order to change your styling. You can develop a simple different theme which has a different style.css, and you can see those changes happen. Now, the next important part is along with the style.css, you need to declare functions.php also. There is an index.php file also, though. PHP requires all its folders and directories to have index.php for easy navigation whenever any function is calling those files. But functions.php is the most important part to provide functionality to your theme. Sometimes your theme will have dynamic things like adding widgets, having emojis, having top navigation bar, all those things that have dynamic functionalities are declared inside functions.php. Also, you have to enqueue this. Enqueue, like simple enqueuing means that you have to include all these files inside the main theme folder. So as you can see, it enables you to do different things like having sidebars, navigation menu, post thumbnails, and many more. You can do endless possible things that you have seen on any other website inside WordPress also, and everything goes inside functions.php. Now you can also declare different methods and functions inside functions.php, which works exactly like any other object-oriented programming or scripting language. PHP works in the same fashion, and all those functions needs to declare inside functions.php. Then you can create different files, which then goes inside the same functions.php, but the main file remains here, and you can include your own functions over here. Then you can call these functions inside anywhere in your website, and they would be easily fetched upon whenever this themes is activated. So some other files that goes inside any theme is obviously index.php. So apart from the primary mandatory files, that is functions.php and style.css, other files are templating files that give a total structure to different kind of post, different kind of taxonomies inside your WordPress. So for example, single.php is the template that you use in order to show your post. So WordPress considers single.php with this name directive. If you change the name, you put singles.php or one.php, it won't work. So for it to work inside the theme, you need to put it exactly like single.php. And this then contains all the information that is needed to run that particular custom single post type. But in case you are using some advanced custom posts, such as a movie that we created in our previous case, then you have to name it something like single-movie.php. WordPress automatically matches the post type slug and finds the template accordingly. Similarly, for a post type as page, you have to insert things in page.php for those templating. So most of the things inside any kind of template is the main content, but sometimes you would like to have things like headers, footers, and things like that. That's where you include your template directory into inside the template files. Then page.php is for pages. Category.php, I'm not sure. I think this needs to be archive.php, or you can use category.php also. Sid will let you know more about the name directives. And then you have tag.php that you use to show tags. Then authors is for authors, search is for your search page styling, and then 404.php. So these should be the must-have files. If you don't include any of these files, WordPress goes back to index.php to show those functionalities. But in order for your theme or your website to have a proper structure, it is recommended to include all these files with proper declaratives. So the last thing is child theme, and child theme is also a very important concept that was introduced in WordPress 3.x something, in which they declared that if you are using some kind of parent theme that has some more advanced functionalities, but you want to add your own custom things instead of editing the theme directly, you can create your own theme that uses the parent functions but has its own customization features. So that helps you to make things portable. For example, if you have installed WordPress, by default it comes with a theme named as 2020, 2018, 2019. So sometimes you would like to use the same functions and same themes but add some more styling features. So that's where you will develop your own child theme and it will work accordingly. So it also helps in keeping customization separate in different functions. You can utilize the parent functions, but still having your own customization. You don't need to write all the boilerplate code. Main functionalities and main structures, such as those template files that we saw in the last slide, are included in the parent theme. So you just need to develop those files that you have to change inside your main theme that you're working on. And at the same time, you can update your parent theme without destroying your modifications, because that is what will happen if you are trying to edit a parent theme directly. Whenever a new theme update comes, your changes will be gone. But if you are developing a child theme, those things won't happen. So now we will go to each of these template files, which are index, single tag, category, authors, 404, search, and page, and we'll see how these things works. So Sid, can you take us through that?
Yeah, sure. My screen is visible to everyone?
Yep.
Yeah, so last time we created a custom taxonomy called cars, and also the video custom post type. So this is our folder structure. We have created a functions.php file and an index.php file, and also a custom template. So now we have to create other files also in this theme. So this is the theme here. Now let's create all those remaining files for a theme to function properly. Say main file index, so we already have it. Header, footer, category, we are also going to have a search file for search functionality, and an author where author post will list, and the file tag.php is a taxonomy for tags. You already know what is tag. So, and footer is done, header is done, index, search, tag. Let's start. We'll create later more files. Let's start with the single.php file. What we have added till now. Here. So what basically we did here last time, we queried a custom post type here, video, and showed the title of that each post inside the custom post. Let me open my browser, and here's the working directory. WP admin. Let's see, appearances, themes. So we were working in this theme. Yep. So this was the theme. So this was the last time we did what we did in here. Let's go one by one. First, we have to include a header file. What does this header? Header function, it adds what inside the header.php file. Here appends in the index.php file on the top of it. So let's write something in header.php file so you can see this get. So it's a header.php file inside of index.php. See, so now the header.php file is here, and a footer file is also should be here. So very simple, say get footer, simple. Footer is done. So we will be adding here functionalities, and also we need to add here one more thing, WP footer. So what it does is whatever your theme, whatever your other themes and your plugins, basically plugins are adding some script tags to show that, so that they can be, you know, on a front end, they can be added on a front end in your index.php file. So if your theme has functionality to do with the front end, they will add their script inside the body here. But we don't have any plugin, so that it's not showing up here. Okay, footer is done, header is done. So let's do something in header and say we need a navigation menu here. So first we have to create a navigation menu, and inside here themes, you can see there's nothing, themes, customization and theme header. We don't have a menus here right now, so we need to register a menu first inside our functions.php file. Let's create a hook action, and it is going to be setup. It's a hook called setup for setting up your theme. And it provides a callback function, so you need to write here setup with the name of setup theme. This function will get executed after your theme gets loaded. So inside here, register nav menu, using the method called register nav menus, and it contains an array. Inside array, you need to give a label for navigation menu name. Give it a name, say, what type of name, my menu. Let's see if this works or not. We have a menu here, and let's create a new menu, calling it up. See how many menus we have. Inside my header we have pages. So these pages are these pages we have created here, those pages. So let's create save menu. The menu has been saved. You can manage your menu here. My theme, my menu. Okay. So now we need to call this nav menu inside our index.php file here. Let's type here. For calling a nav menu, you need to use the slug of the menu first. So set wp nav, the nav menu. What was the name of the nav menu here? It was my menu. So it takes an ARG. Say our name. It's my theme. So this was the menu we have created here. This was the menu. So you can change your menu like just drag and drop their positions here like this and save menu, and it will get changed here. So it's dynamic. You have to do nothing. Just use some functions and the WordPress will do for you. So inside of header we have a menu. This is what we need for building a website. A menu like this that we can do here a little bit of styling to this thing. Like that we can create a menu over here by just giving CSS and some CSS. So this is CSS work. I'm just giving you functionality how theme works. So we'll do it. You can do it on your own. So the header contains a menu, what we needed, and now it's time for the index part. An index we have this. Let's move it. And what basically we need index that our posts should be shown here. The word post we have right now in WordPress, so they should come up here. These posts. So we need to write here if have post. If there is post, then only this logic will run. Otherwise, it won't. So we say while have post, and to loop through all the posts, we need to write here the post like this, and you need a title of the post. Say the title. On content of the post, we can write the content like this. And now let's check out our index page, how it looks like. So this is here. I think we should do something. So get header index. Okay. So it's saying something for more information, child theme function and PHP. Some things went wrong. I think. What did I did wrong? Let's see. Saying something here in the nav menu label. So inside header the error is coming over here because I have accidentally removed the PHP tag from here. That's why it's happening. Let's look at that. I don't know how it removed from here. So now the posts are these are the posts should having here. Okay. Title is here. Let's see, we want to link to every post. What we do here, we close our PHP tag, we start it again, create an anchor tag. PHP. Okay, so we need to echo here the URL of the current post, which is being looped individually. So let's see, load permanent like this. And you need to echo it already echoed itself. Okay, so we need to echo the title. Which is the title. Okay, like that. So what's in our front end? So these are the links for the individual post which we have created like this. Okay, so in index, which you normally need is to create in posts and give those posts a link so that the user, when clicks on those links, they will reach the content of the post. And how they will reach it? By clicking over it. So inside our index.php file or single.php file, they will go to the single.php file after clicking on the individual content links. So after they should have gone to single.php, which I have not created. That's why it's bounced back to index.php file. Let's create a single.php file. And here write h1 tag, say single. Here let's go back to our index file, main file, refresh it, click over here. So this is a single page. And right now we haven't write anything in our single page. Okay. So let's write something in the single page. First, get the header. Store header like this. And second, you need the title of the post. So you just have to write here the title, and you will have the title of the post. And also, I think there is no need for the title actually. Let's say content. We are interested in content. What's written inside the post? So the content is nothing inside the post. That's why it's nothing. So let's say giving some error. Parameter must be array of an object that implements counter in the post templates. Okay, so because we haven't set the post. See, it's gone, but the content is nothing inside the post. So let's see which post was it. It was this was the slug, which you can see here. So it is TAGF. Let's see this thing here. Let's write something in the content. Save it. So this is the post content, a single individual content, which we are showing here, and we need a header to here, and already a header here. Okay, it's working. Here. So let's see. This is our single.php file in which you need to do these things: get the header and get the post, and then loop through all the content which has inside a post. So this is the basic structure you can create here, and after that you can do a lot of things inside a single PHP. You can use your CSS, custom CSS, and JS to improve the styling of the post as your needs. I'm telling you just how you can query the content of a single post. This is how WordPress works. Whenever you click on a single post permalink, it will send you to the single.php file. Okay, now let's go to the other section, which is let's create an archive page, category page. For archive page, let's say so the archive page posts through all the posts which has been
Sid, we lost you.
so it will show in that category page. So let's look through all the posts with this category. Query. So let's write our other condition while, and it is like checking if the post have, they will continue while. So same have post and third post. And after that we can write here the content of the post. So let's say the title of the post. WordPress gives it's very easy to create category page, archive page, pretty much the same, everything everywhere. Content like this. See if it works or not. First, going to the archive page, we need a archive link, to go to this. It is not working properly. So index.page, you need here say WP list WP.
I think Sid, there is a problem with your mic. Can you try switching your mic?
I don't know how it happened. Sorry about that. So how long I was mute?
Almost like 2 minutes. Can you repeat this category.php again?
Yeah, sure. So what I have done here is in index.php file, I'm looping through all the categories which I have created in the WordPress. So this method prints the category and the category link. So you don't need to individually get all the categories and do the logic. Just use this method and do some stylings, and it will work fine. So, and after that, let me show you index.php file, how it looks. This is how our index.php file looks. And this section here is the category section I have created. So when you click on the in any category, it will take you to the category.php file. Click on it, and you are on a category.php file like this. And inside category.php file, I'm looping through all the posts which are related to the categories. So you can loop through all the posts which are related to the category. This is how category page works. Simple. And after that, we have a tag page, and we need to loop through. First, we have to show the tags, which tags we have. So let's say I need to show them. Going to first loop through all the tags. So gets the tags. This method gets the all tags in an object. And after that, I have to loop through all the tags using the for each method function, say as tag, and let's see what is inside a tag. So this is an object which it returns like this. So these are all the tags to which the posts are attached. In this tag there are two posts attached. In this there's one, in this there's one. If with any tag there is no post is attached, it won't show here. Let's use some styling and print it here. Use our PHP code block and write some HTML. Use the anchor tag for that. We're going to write here the link of the tag. So in backward. Takes a parameter and which is going to be tag and the ID of the tag, program ID, just like this. The title for the tag is tag name, like this. We're accessing the value from an object, so we use a symbol like this. Name simple. Let's see if it works. These are the tags 1, 2, 3. And if I click on it, single tag, it will take me to the tag.php file. So which exists, but it is empty. Like here, it's completely empty. So it's pretty much the same. What you need to do in a tag.php file is you have to loop through all the posts which are related to the tag. So in the category, I have created this code block. You can use the same code block inside the tag.php. Refresh it. So these are the posts which are a single post which is related to a tag. Okay, so let's see post, and with this tag, which was tag was it? It was tag. So this tag. Okay. Post fan. Two posts are attached to this tag. This one and this one. Post fan and this title. Okay, so now the tag page, you can do more with the tag page by giving CSS, and there you can add more things. Right now I'm just giving you the basic structure how you can do things. And left search page. So for search page you need to, there is also the same thing in the search page. When you index page, when there's a search form, when you search something, it should come up with a search.php page where you show all your searches. So let's create a form here. So very simple in a WordPress, get search form, this, and this is it. Get search form. This is how you get your search form. This is your search form. Very simple. You have to do nothing. Just write on one method, get search form, and you are having a search form. And use your CSS and your little bit of JS to improve its looks and feel. Let me write something here. So now it is a search.php file which is having nothing. Also inside here you can also use the same thing like this. So which is searched by the search all, it will show up here like this. So this is a sample page inside here, and inside sample page there must be a all keyword, that is why it's coming up here. And the search page sample page content is also showing up here because we have used here the content, this thing. Okay, and there's also one more page which is 404. Let's go to a 404 page, create a 404 page. So 404 page comes into play when you enter a wrong URL. Say 404 page not found, like this. And when you go to your site and you try to, you know, find something which doesn't exist on the site, it's a WP admin, sorry. So here, like this. So it will say 404 page not found. So because this thing, this permalink URL is related to nothing. There's no page, nothing. That's why the 404 page comes to play. And inside a 404 page, you can copy and paste any template you want. It will show up here. Author, category and footer functions, header, index, and search. Let's say where is author? Here it is. So inside author, if there is an author on index.php file, if somebody clicks on the link like this index page, if there is a link called author, if somebody clicks on it, it will take you to the author.php file, and here you can write the same logic as you written here inside a search page, because you are looping through all the posts. But if you are looping through custom post types, you cannot use this thing here. You need to use another thing. You need to create your own loop variables. So let's write inside like this. And inside here, we say I want an author link. Posts. Me. So these are the posts. So these are category pages, title, permalinks, okay, I type here like this, author and admin. So it will take me to the admin author, which he's having two posts like this. So this page is author.php page right here. Right now, let's see. Okay, the basic structure of theme is first index.php file, where everything starts, where you put everything, your posts, your categories, so the user can see all the categories, and the search form where the user can search for something in your website, and it will be redirected to the search.php file. After that, footer. So if somebody do something in the footer, here attaches a link or whatever inside the plugin adds inside the footer type by doing the W key enqueue scripts. So the enqueue scripts also here. So let's see the style.css file. So this is our style.css file which is here. Let's add this style.css file here. So we can add it by add action. WP enqueue styles scripts. not a method. Scripts, and with this scripts you need to add a function. Add my scripts. You need to make a function with this function, callback function, with the WP-enqueue scripts. Inside here you need to write a enqueue script which looks like this. So I've also created a functions file like here. This is the method that you have to use here to use your enqueue styles. This is the method you have to use your if you want some, somewhere in your theme file, you need to find that using the get template directory. So this will take you to the template file where you are in your theme directory. It will take you directly to the theme directory. So let's take this code from here inside our functions.php. Right now I don't have a jQuery file, and also I don't have a editor style block CSS file. So I'm just enqueuing my style file and calling it a name with my site while. The main CSS file. Okay, I thought I had muted. Okay, like this. So the main style here, it will get attached to here like this. Let's go to the home page. So this is our home page looks like right now. The internet is not working properly. Now it is. Okay, so now you can add your style sheets like this inside anyway. Let me create a folder here and call it a name assets. Create a new style CSS file. So WP styles. You can write a test and an src to your get template directory URI. This template directory URI will give you the location of your theme folder to here, my theme. And if you want further, you need to append that URL to your this template directory URI, like appending it to the string like this. .css like this. So the file exists here, assets, and for that custom.css like this. Of course, you can also add your style sheets directly into the header, but I'm using the PHP, using the WordPress way. This is how WordPress appends the CSS files to their theme. Let's go to the network call, see if the file is loaded or not. So dash const.main.admin.just. Okay. Name is fine. It is assets get template directory URI. Let's change this. Something is going wrong. So I'm anchoring the styles like this and giving a handle and src, which is written here over here like that. Okay, this is the way you can also attach a files, and there is also another way by doing in a header.php file. See, an HTML structure to this header. Why do we like this? That structure. You need to put those ending blocks code inside footer. Here like this, because it's a whole structure. First comes the header, and then comes the part of the middle part, and then the footer part. So it makes the HTML structure like this. Let's summarize what we have done till now. First, we have created an index file here, which is a main templating file in your theme, in which you write your all of the logic code. The user will land up here if you didn't create any of those files here, like author 404 and single. So all the logic will happen in index.php file. But if you want to divide the logic, so you need to create the individual files like category.php, author.php, to show you the hierarchy of how WordPress creates the hierarchy. Internet's very slow. This diagram. This is the main diagram in WordPress. So this is the index file which I was talking about, main file. You see here, index, this is the main file. And there comes the archive page. If archive page doesn't exist, all the logic will happen in index.php file. And if you want the author to separate logic, you can create author.php that we have created here. And if you do not create category.php file, all the logic will come in archive page. And if archive doesn't exist, then all the logic will run in index.php file. You can further divide category page like a category -id of the category, particular ID. Then you need to search in the database and write it here. And also it works with a slug. And after that, this is a category archive section. In archive section, there are tag.php template, date, taxonomy, archive post type, custom post types for an archive.category.php and author.php. So down here is a singular page. This is also comes into play for single page and single page. Like if you have a single.php and if you also have a singular.php, but if single.php page exists, then singular won't work. Logic will run here. And with this, the single.page is attached to these things, attachment.php. If the attachment.php logics to be run and it doesn't exist, then the single will come into play. And if single doesn't, then singular, and if a singular doesn't, then index. So this is how the flow goes in the WordPress. So everything, for every single individual work, there is a template like this. And if all the template doesn't exist, everything will go in index.php file. And you can learn more about all these things going in the WordPress website, they are also showing it in a good manner, all the things, how it works. So I'm just giving you a brief introduction how you can build your theme, basic structure. So let's see if we have created index file, and after that single.php for single post, which we are doing here, and after that for pages, we want to show pages. So I think I have not created any page, but you can create a page.file, page.php, in which the pages logic will run. Okay, so here, and when I go to my main website and I click all, these are the pages that I've listed using the nav menu. When I click over it, it shows me nothing, because inside page.php I have nothing here. So I can write anything here I want. Normally in page.php you want your custom HTML and CSS to go there. So this, you can all group here the posts and all those things. This is how it works. Create your navigation menu and with the some pages, and run your logic here, and put some individual posts inside your index.php file, and when someone clicks on it, they goes to the single.php file for the full content. And I think this is the pretty much a website works like this. And you have footer section, you have a search for searching in your website functionality, and category section categorizing your posts and your individual contents. There is also a tag, you can attach a tag to any post, and also categorize your content through the tags. And I think this is the basic structure of a theme which you can build. I think this is it for the day, guys.
Okay, thank you.